Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Little Witch Academia Episode 7. So, last episode, they were teaching them metamorphosis magic, basically transforming one animal into another animal. Basically, everybody was able to do it, except for Akko. She would change other things into things. um, Excuse me. So, because she couldn't do it during class, she was ordered to stay in her room until she was able to master the basics of metamorphosis magic. Unfortunately, there is some, I guess you can call them dignitaries showing up. I had to write these down so that I would remember and I didn't sound like an idiot, which I know I do all the time. The Earl of Hanbridge and his son Andrew. Important people. And they were coming by, so they were going to have a party. Like a ball kind of thing, except no dancing. Other than the performance that was put on. And then dinner. Akko couldn't go, and she really wanted to, but wasn't able to because she couldn't do metamorphosis magic. While she was in her room, she's trying to transform this rat into some other kind of animal, like a rabbit. But instead, the magic kind of goes around her head and hits her and turns her ears into rabbit ears and her nose into a rabbit nose. So she's like getting kind of frustrated because they're telling her to do all this stuff, but to her, somebody should at least tell her if she has any kind of like talent or not. Like if she's going to be able to become a good witch, or if she's just going to constantly be a failure. And then she remembers something, looks into one of her books, and pulls out a card for this thing called the Fountain of Polaris. It's supposed to give you anybody who has like inherent magical abilities or something like magical abilities that are like kind of hidden, I guess. Then it'll bring it all out and give you, I think it was called the Power of the Stars or something like that. And just like every other important thing that's magical, it's at the school, but in the abandoned schoolhouse area. So she has to go over there, and she's supposed to be in her room, but Akko never listens. So she leaves, and she's trying to sneak her way over there, and runs into Andrew, who was not really enjoying the performance. He doesn't really like magic. He thinks it's outdated and it should just be stopped. And so who I guess his friend and Diana or is it Diane? Diana. Okay, I had it right. Are walking around the campus because the principal told her to show them around. It turns out they know each other. They can't call them childhood friends. I think Diana actually said that. She remembers hanging out with him, but they were not friends. They end up getting separated because he notices Akko running across the field. It goes to see what's going on. And she ends up accidentally turning his ears into, I think they were like donkey ears or something. I don't know exactly what kind of animal, but I'm pretty sure it was a donkey. And so excuse me again. they both end up going to search for the Fountain of Polaris because she mentions that with it she'd be able to get the magical power she needs in order to change them back. And he doesn't want to be seen that way, so he has to go with her. Meanwhile, the teacher, Ursula, is looking for her because she was told during the banquet that Akko was in her room and had to stay there until she, mastered the basics of metamorphosis magic. And she was going to help her out. But she was gone, so she went looking for her. They end up making it to the area they need to, and there is a huge polar bear in there guarding the fountain. They end up being chased basically throughout the entire thing. But they do end up finding it. And the bear ends up getting... Nothing really happens to the bear, but he stops chasing them. They go up the steps to the fountain. Akko says, she wants the power of the stars or whatever it is. But instead, the fountain starts showing her, flashbacks for, what's her name? Why can't I never remember people's names? Where are you? Shiny Chariot. They started showing images of Chariot when she was in school. And I guess she had the same kind of situation. She did not seem to have any talent at all with magic, but studied really hard and became, I think, the top student. And then went back to the fountain and got the power that she wanted, the power of the stars, and it was placed inside of her wand. And then Ursula finds her and is telling her, I think you pretty much already knew that you have to actually study and work hard at this in order to get to where you want. Because she mentioned that those who come to the fountain and don't have what it's looking for, it will just disappear. And those that do will get the power. But they have to work hard and get it before they can even go up to the fountain. So they end up going back back to the school, and that's basically it. One thing that did confirm, at least for me at this moment, is that Ursula is Shiny Chariot. Because she used some kind of spell on the bear when it was falling, and when they gave a shot of her, her hair was changing back from red to blue. And as we know, Shiny Chariot had red hair. So my whole theory that she was in disguise as Ursula in the school seems to be true. So far, unless something happens later on that just makes me wrong. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to this episode. Let's get into it, because it's getting late and I need to go to bed. So the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.